Every commercial organization has just one motive in their minds, and that is to grab the attention of customers and thereby increase their profits. It wasn't quite this situation in early days, but with an increase in liberalization and global industrial revolution, the competition for achieving a greater customer satisfaction has also increased. In order to achieve this and maintain their positions in the market, companies are finding out new ways to trick the consumers, though apparently promising them a fair deal. Here are 10 crazy ways you are being tricked by companies. Now, is there anybody who hasn't fallen for this trick? Companies make meals or combos cost less than the items bought separately. Let's take the example of McDonald's. They have meals that are cheaper than the a la carte items. Obviously, you'd prefer a glass of Coke over double chicken in your burger. At least your subconscious mind would. But look at it this way. Where you had originally planned to spend just $4 for a burger, you are now spending $6. In the process, you are actually increasing their sales and paying far more than what you had bargained for while entering the store. Companies have realized how your psyche works. What you see in a combo is stuff at a cheaper rate, but what they see is more sales. You think your combos are the same quality-wise compared to what they would have been bought separately? Not at all. So the next time you walk into a store and are tempted to buy stuff like this, ask your conscience if you really need it or not. Also notice the amount of chicken in your burger when you buy the next meal. This is one of the oldest tricks in the hat. Companies tend to create a scarcity of things they want to sell out faster. Remember those limited edition deals? Experienced only 3 remaining on an e-commerce website? Well, I'm sure it made you whip out your wallet faster than ever. When we see that there's a shortage of a particular item, we tend to think it sells more because it's the best. That's what our brain says. We buy even if we don't need it, whispering to our logical side that we may need it in the future. This leads to hoarding. Rare is your woman if she isn't a hoarder. Companies have been taking advantage of this thinking for years. Of course, this limited edition sale is followed by a back-in-public demand sale, right? Companies just fake a lower inventory in order to sell stuff fast. Limited time remaining is just their way of creating a sense of fake scarcity. Don't fall for it. The next time you see this blaring sign of similar context on an e-commerce website beside a blush pink dress, ask yourself if you really need that. Maybe blush pink doesn't even suit you. What a marvelous use of the study of psychology. The left digit effect, explained in depth in the book Priceless, The Myth of Fair Value by William Poundstone, comes in play here. When we read a price tag that says $9.99, we tend to take it as $9 approximately, whereas in reality it's a whopping $10. This leads us to buy stuff worth far more than our budget allows. You'd get to know in the aforementioned book how 99-cent stores make profits much higher than Walmart. Yes, you read it right, 99-cent stores are a facade. They just want to rip out your green bills. When we see a pair of shoes, one of Shop A and the other of Shop B, exactly the same in quality and physique, we tend to compare their prices. When the tag in Shop A reads $20 and that in B reads $19.99, we tend to go in for the latter, or so in our immediate instinct. Our brain perceives that the latter shop is giving the same stuff in the $19 range, whereas the former prices it at the $20 range. This is the left digit effect, and is one of the most common ways companies trick you into buying their stuff. The moment we read this, we are questioning the existence of unicorns. We feel it's too good to be true. Our favorite brand on 50% off. It's not even the festive season. Well, you're right, it is too good to be true. When we walk into these stores, we realize that immediately. There's just a handful of crappy, out-of-fashion, damaged goods that have 50% off their exorbitant price tags. Another handful of slow-selling stuff has a mere 20% off. Well, the hot-selling beauties, the new arrivals as they're called, are off sale and have prices much above the range of our affordability. But hey, what's the better way to show off those Monroe dresses that have just arrived at potential customers? Customers sometimes fail to realize that they aren't even getting a discount on the stuff they're buying. When you go back to put up a fight, the company would definitely show you the too small to be read disclaimer that says T&C applies. The T&C itself is a huge thesis that would require a few hundred hours to read, so sales aren't really sales, and most of us have learned it the hard way. Ladies, don't fall for the 34% off and best value hoardings. Also, order $50 or more to get free shipping doesn't really make sense if you originally required just a toothbrush. Get real. Ever found yourself attracted to the smell of freshly brewed coffee while you aren't even thirsty when passing a cafe coffee day setup? Well, that's one of the biggest tricks food marketers use to get in customers. Yes, the Cinnabon smell wafting through the mall is not the smell of fresh Cinnabon stuff. They use artificial fragrances to grab hold of your tummy and pull them in. Those scheming little bakeries and those huge KFC setups are all in the game to urge you to pay them. And this applies not just to the food stores, but also to others. Stores selling electronic goods have seen a hike in the sales of ovens after sprinkling apple pie fragrance in their stores. It is a legit thing, a legit way to make you pay faster and better. Paco Underhill, the writer of the book What Women Want, says that if your salivary glands are active, you tend to become an undisciplined shopper. Scents affect your mood. Beware. You think this is unjustified in this list? Wrong. The next time you visit a store playing music, listen carefully. The beats would be slower than your heartbeats, and that has a huge effect on you psychologically. It slows down your pace. Surveys have shown that this increases the sales of a shop by 29%, no less. Don't get deceived by music the next time you go shopping. If you wish to be a successful shopper, just focus on what you've come for. Buy it and rush to your car. No looking left or right, no touching unnecessary stuff, no listening to good music. Period. Ever got disappointed by a packet of Lay's full of air? Hey, you know my pain, buddy. Packaging is a deceiving thing, trust me. And I'm not just talking about potato chips, but cereals, protein shakes, wafers, pretty much anything that comes in a box. Secondly, do notice the new packaging of bottles and stuff. Impressed with the latest design of your shampoo bottle? Well, you better check the ounces. You may be paying the same amount for less of that stuff. Seems like companies change their packaging not just to cut down impersonating cheaper companies, as economics teaches us, but also to avoid customers catching the fact that they're now paying the same amount for less of the product. This is the company's way to cope with the price hike of production costs. Don't trust me, do you? Just check it out physically the next time you go shopping. It's a well-established fact, and every consumer knows that the sheer dress won't look the same on them as it did on Miss America 2017, that the Big Mac won't actually look like what it does on the TV commercials, the gooey stuff is missing, that those pills won't really make you lose weight the way the commercial projects. We know it, yet we fall for it every single time. If you haven't already experienced such a failure, just try ordering one of those super cheap dresses on eBay, or a Christmas tree online. You'll totally get what I mean. Companies often display unrealistic yet hopelessly tempting pictures of their products in a way that makes it impossible for us to resist. Have you heard that just looking at food can make you want to eat it, regardless of the fact that you aren't hungry? If you're super active on e-commerce sites and do a lot of online shopping, this point is solely dedicated to you. All my earnest sympathies. Now this one has a lot of theory attached to it. How many of you have lost numerous gift cards over your existence? I'm pretty sure all of you. Gift cards are the best way for companies to make money. How? Well, go through the following scenario. You receive a $3 gift card of an esteemed company. Scenario 1. You go home, keep it on the dresser. Hours later, it falls off the dresser, is swept off by the cleaning lady, and boom, you don't care about it. The company made $3. Scenario 2. You go to the company outlet, see that there's nothing below $30. You throw away the gift card. The company made $3, effortlessly. Scenario 3. You go to the outlet, see something worth $10. You use your gift card as well as cash. The company got a rise in sales. Profit for them. Scenario number 4. You buy something worth $2. Forget the $1 remaining and throw away the card. The company made easy money. So a gift card is the #1 way companies trick you into spending more than you bargained for. The next time you decide to buy somebody a gift card, do give it a second thought. This trick is used by almost all e-commerce websites to drag in more customers. Spyware and stuff do deserve a mention, but what we are going to focus on would be default options and rate changes. Have you ever decided to book flights through Expedia? If yes, you must have noticed that the very flight you're interested in gets a little more expensive after a couple of hours. It happens so when we spend a few minutes on a specific product, the computer understands that we're specifically interested in it. If we book it there and then, fine. But if we decide to do it later on, after consulting people involved, the rates are are increased by the website to incur more profits. As insane as it may sound, the incognito mode of Google Chrome is excellent for looking up information without leaving marks. However, with the coming of cookies, even incognito fails at times. Secondly, default has helped us a lot. It has definitely made us lazier by the day, but has helped the companies. Amazon's one-click buy feature is popular with customers. It saves your credit card number and everything the first time you make a purchase, so that the next time all you need to do is a click, and boom, your stuff is waiting at your doorstep. People tend to buy things from such sites, though they cost slightly more than the others. These marketing strategies have tricked us into buying so much more than we need. Without having to walk in the sun, you're getting your favorite merchandise with a return option. Can life get any better? And hence you stand tricked into spending dollars and dollars.